All right, so for the half kneeling hip flexor stretch, you're gonna have your knee on the floor. You're gonna try to tuck your hip up like you're trying to bring your belt buckle up to your chin. You're gonna push your hip forward slightly, contract this glute, contract the abs, and then you're gonna reach up like you're trying to hold a bowl of soup overhead. So you should feel a real big stretch right in that hip flexor, and you're gonna hold this for 5 deep breaths on each side. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Once you hit 5, you're gonna go ahead and switch over to the other side.
So after that half kneeling hip flexor stretch, you're going to go into a single leg glute bridge hold. So back on the floor, arms right at your side, one leg up. You're going to also try to tuck your hips. So just like the same cue, try to bring your belt buckle up to your chin and then squeeze your butt as hard as you can, and you're gonna actively hold this for 10 seconds, come back down, and then do the same thing on the other side.
Once you're done with the single leg glute bridge, you're gonna lay down on your side. You're gonna bring your knees together. You wanna try to have these knees paired up and stacked on top of each other without them shifting. You're gonna have your hands together. You're gonna reach with the top hand, go overhead. As you're going overhead, you're gonna watch that hand. As you get right over the head, you're gonna exhale. And you're gonna try to bring your opposite shoulder to the floor. Once you're there, you're gonna bring yourself right back to start position. And then go again. Reach, rotate, watch the hands, exhale. And then back to start.
So after you do the side lying windmill, you're going to go into a bird dog. So you're gonna be on all fours, have your hands right underneath your shoulders. You're gonna go opposite arm, opposite hand. You're going to extend out, okay? Now you wanna make sure that in this position, you keep those hips tucked and you don't get into an overly arched position. You see that kind of arch on my back, because that kind of defeats the purpose. So, abs on, so squeeze your abs tight, squeeze your butt tight, and squeeze this fist tight, okay? Then you're gonna take 3 deep breaths in this position without losing this position and without losing that tuck, so don't arch still. In through the nose, out through the mouth. After 3 deep breaths, you're gonna do the same thing the other side. Again, squeeze that fist tight, put your footprint on the wall behind you, keep those ribs tucked and keep that back from arching, and 3 deep breaths.
All right, next one, you're going to perform a cat-cow. You're gonna get into an all fours position. Now in this one, we're trying to get maximal extension and maximal flexion. So we're gonna start out on extension. I want you to try to lift your chest up as high as you can. Try to look up as high as you can. You're trying to extend that spine as much as possible. Once you're here, you're gonna go ahead and bring yourself back into neutral and then into flexion, where you're gonna try to round as much as possible. You should be able to look at your knees and your toes. You're trying to push your chest away and separate your scaps. Once you're there and you hit that maximal flexion, you're gonna go right back to that extension, looking up as high as you can, and then back into flexion. We're gonna have you perform that 5 times.
So after we do that dynamic warm-up, that general dynamic warm-up, we're gonna get a little bit more specific and go into our J-band warm-up, okay? So for this series, what we're gonna start with is we're gonna do basically 1 set of 10 for all of the movements, and we're gonna start with J-band YTW. So have them right around your wrists. Do 10 Ys where you go right overhead. Make sure that your rib cage doesn't pop up, so keep those ribs down. Okay, so you'll do 10. Then for our Ts, we're gonna do 5 with your thumb facing the anchor, okay? And then 5 with your thumb facing behind you, okay? And then after that, you'll do 10 Ws. Again, on these Ws, really try to drive your wrists back, again, without your ribs popping up. Make sure you're not just here. Actively try to drive those wrists behind you.
All right, so for the Ain't Got No Monies, you're gonna open up your palms. You don't want your palms to be facing the ceiling. You're gonna pinch your shoulder blades back. And now in this position, I want you to externally rotate. You're trying to drive your wrists or your hands as far behind you as possible. Just like in the YTWs, we don't want to overarch or open up the rib cage. You want to keep your abs braced and tight, and you're just trying to open up as much as possible. The whole time you're trying to push your triceps up against your side as well while retracting your shoulder blades. We're going to perform 10 reps.
So the next one the next couple moves that we're gonna do is an ER series, so working on that shoulder external rotation. The first one you're gonna do is you're gonna have the hook around one of your wrists. You're gonna keep your elbow pinned right at your side. A good cue to kind of think about is this entire time, like you're trying to hold your glove right in your armpit, right in between your elbow and your body. And when you rotate out, you don't want that glove to drop down, okay? So you're gonna pinch the glove, have your thumb pointed out. You're gonna keep that elbow right at your side, pinching the glove, and then you're gonna rotate out as much as you can, nice and controlled, and then come back. And you do 10 reps there. Next, we're gonna do an external rotation above the shoulder. So you're gonna take your other arm, you're gonna let the elbow with the band around it, or the elbow down the side that has the band around it, rest right on your hand, okay, your opposite hand there. Keep that elbow there, try to relax it, then actively drive and rotate out, okay? Without trying to twist the body or let this, like, actively push that elbow away from you, okay? So just let it rest like it's resting on a shelf, and then nice and controlled, rotate back. 10 reps there. Yes, go.
All right, so for the last thing here, we're going to work on the triceps a little bit, get a little bit of blood flow to those tendons. You're going to have the anchors around your wrist. You're going to turn around, we got overhead tricep extension. So you're just going to have your elbows up above your ears, fully extend the arms. Up and down, just like rapid fire. Keep the rib cage down, try not to overarch that spine. We're going to hit 20 reps. After you hit 20 reps there at about this pace, you're going to rotate over, bend over slightly. 20 tricep extensions here.